The Galactic Empire's message was clear and absolute: surrender and offer tribute, or face annihilation. It was a demand repeated countless times across the galaxy, issued to species that fell under the shadow of the Empire's vast fleet. Most worlds capitulated without question, their leaders trembling at the sight of dreadnoughts blotting out their skies. This time, however, their ultimatum was delivered to Earth, a planet the Empire considered an unremarkable backwater. They expected humanity to kneel as others had. Instead, they received a single, chilling response: run. The envoy of the Galactic Empire, a towering figure clad in ornate armor, glared at the human delegation seated across from him. The humans appeared oddly calm, almost indifferent. It was a reaction the envoy found unsettling. Empires fell to their knees before the might of the Imperium. Why not these frail creatures? You misunderstand the gravity of your situation, the envoy said, his voice like a blade slicing through the silence. We have fleets capable of reducing your cities to ashen moments. Surrender now, and your people may live to serve. Resist, and you'll be erased. One of the humans leaned forward, his smile faint but unnerving. You've done this before, haven't you? He said, his voice calm. Sailed into some corner of the galaxy, waved your big ships around, and scared everyone into compliance. It's worked so far, hasn't it? The envoy narrowed his eyes. It always works. The human's smile widened. Not this time. The envoy bristled, his patience thinning. You think yourselves immune to destruction? Your planet has no defense systems capable of withstanding our firepower. Your technology is laughably outdated. What can you possibly hope to achieve? Survival, the human replied simply. And a warning. You've come to the wrong planet. Without another word, the human delegation stood and left the chamber. The envoy watched them go, seething at their audacity. By the time he returned to his flagship, orders were already being issued to deploy the fleet and begin bombardment. As the Imperial dreadnoughts approached Earth, the fleet's commanders observed something peculiar. There were no visible defenses, no planetary shields, no orbital weapons platforms, nothing to suggest Earth was prepared for a fight. It should have been a straightforward operation, yet unease rippled through the fleet. The humans' response had been too bold, too confident. Something was off. When the first wave of Imperial ships entered Earth's orbit, the trap was sprung. Massive electromagnetic pulses erupted from hidden satellites, frying the electronics of every ship in range. The once mighty Imperial fleet was paralyzed, their systems dead, their weapons useless. Human ships, smaller and faster than their Imperial counterparts, swarmed in like hornets, picking off the stranded dreadnoughts with surgical precision. On the surface, resistance forces mobilized with an efficiency that stunned the Imperium's ground forces. What the humans lacked in advanced technology, they made up for with ingenuity, tenacity, and a deep understanding of guerrilla warfare. Cities became fortresses, forests became death traps, and even the oceans were weaponized. Every attempt to establish a foothold on Earth was met with overwhelming resistance. The humans fought not just to survive but to send a message. Earth was no one's to conquer. News of the disaster spread rapidly through the Galactic Empire. For the first time, the Imperium faced not just defeat but humiliation. Their ships lay wrecked, their armies decimated, their reputation shattered. The humans, once dismissed as primitive, had become a symbol of defiance. Back on Earth, the human leaders gathered in a hidden bunker, monitoring the retreating Imperial forces. One of them turned to the others, a wry smile on his face. Think they'll come back? Not anytime soon, another replied. But if they do, they'll know what to expect. And what if someone else tries to pull the same stunt? A younger leader asked. The oldest of the group leaned back in his chair, a glint of steel in his eyes. Then they'll learn the hard way, just like these fools did. Humanity doesn't bow. We bite. The remnants of the Galactic Empire's fleet limped out of Earth's orbit, their battered dreadnoughts trailing smoke and debris. For the first time in millennia, the once invincible Empire was forced into retreat, leaving behind the wreckage of their arrogance. Earth had not just survived, it had triumphed in a way that sent shockwaves through the galaxy. But humanity's victory came at a cost. The planet bore the scars of invasion, cities reduced to rubble, millions displaced, and ecosystems disrupted by the initial bombardments. Yet the people of Earth, resilient as always, banded together to rebuild. The same ingenuity and unity that had turned the tide of battle now fueled their recovery efforts. Nations that once squabbled over borders and resources worked side by side, united by a common purpose, to ensure Earth would never face such a threat unprepared again. In the aftermath of the battle, humanity's newfound reputation as a force to be reckoned with spread rapidly across the galaxy. On distant worlds, oppressed species whispered tales of Earth's defiance, daring to hope that perhaps the Empire's reign could be challenged. For the first time in living memory, cracks began to appear in the Imperium's iron grip. Within the halls of the Imperial Senate, panic and outrage reigned. The defeat at Earth was more than a military failure, it was a symbolic blow to the Empire's authority. For centuries, their dominance had gone unchallenged, their fleets an unstoppable force. Now, the name Earth was spoken in hushed tones, a grim reminder that even the mightiest could fall. The Emperor himself, a being of immense power and ego, was livid. How could this happen? He thundered, his voice echoing through the grand chamber. A single planet, a primitive species, brought our fleet to its knees? Explain this failure. One of his advisors, a weary-looking senator, stepped forward cautiously. Your Majesty, the humans are, unlike any species we have encountered before. Their world is what we classify as a death world, a planet so hostile that life should not thrive there. And yet, they have not only survived but flourished. Their resilience, their adaptability, it is beyond anything we anticipated. The Emperor's eyes narrowed. Deathworlders? Bah! We've conquered such worlds before. Not like this one, Your Majesty, the senator replied. Earth's gravity is relentless, its ecosystems unpredictable, its climate harsh. Every aspect of their existence has shaped them into warriors, cunning, resourceful, and unyielding. They do not fight for conquest or glory. They fight to survive. And in that, they are unparalleled. The Emperor's gaze hardened. Then we will crush them. We will return with a fleet 10 times the size and reduce their planet to ash. Another voice, this one belonging to a general who had witnessed the battle firsthand, spoke up. With all due respect, Your Majesty, brute force will not suffice. The humans have shown they are capable of neutralizing our technological advantages. If we attack again without understanding them, we risk another humiliation. And the galaxy is already watching. The Emperor fell silent, his fury simmering beneath the surface. Finally, he spoke. Then we must learn their secrets. Find out what makes them so formidable. If they are to be our enemy, we must know them better than they know themselves. Meanwhile, on Earth, preparations were underway for the next inevitable confrontation. Humanity knew the Empire would not accept defeat lightly. Scientists, engineers, and military strategists worked tirelessly to improve their defenses. Hidden beneath the surface, in vast underground facilities, they developed new weapons and technologies, blending human ingenuity with reverse-engineered alien tech salvaged from the battle. But humanity's greatest weapon was not its technology, it was its unpredictability. The Empire could not fathom the depths of human determination, nor the lengths to which they would go to protect their home. For every plan the Imperium devised, humanity had a countermeasure. For every attack, a counterattack. In the months that followed, a network of alliances began to form. Species long oppressed by the Empire reached out to Earth, seeking guidance and aid. Humanity, once seen as an insignificant backwater, now stood at the center of a growing resistance. They shared their knowledge, their tactics, and their unshakable resolve, igniting a spark of rebellion across the galaxy. The Imperium spies reported back with alarming news. Humanity was not preparing for defense alone. They were building something, a fleet, unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. Ships designed not just to repel invaders but to take the fight to the Empire itself. The message was clear. Earth would not wait for the Empire's return. They would strike first, shattering the illusion of Imperial invincibility once and for all. As the first human ships departed the solar system, carrying with them the hopes of countless species, one phrase echoed across the stars, a warning, a promise, and a declaration of intent. Run. The Galactic Empire's intelligence operatives worked relentlessly, infiltrating neutral systems and gathering data on the rapidly rising threat of humanity. What they uncovered only deepened the Imperial Senate's growing paranoia. The humans weren't just preparing for war, They were uniting the galaxies scattered and oppressed under one cause: liberation from tyranny. On countless worlds, whispers of rebellion turned into action. Resistance cells emboldened by humanity's defiance launched small but coordinated strikes against imperial outposts. Supplies and intelligence flowed through hidden networks facilitated by human ingenuity, smuggling tactics, and sheer audacity. The humans didn't just teach the oppressed species how to fight, they taught them how to think like strategists, how to exploit the weaknesses of a system bloated by arrogance. The Emperor, increasingly isolated in his grand palace, demanded answers from his top generals. They, too, had begun to fear what humanity represented, not just a military force, but an idea. The Empire had ruled for so long because its might was seen as unchallengeable. Humanity had shattered that illusion. And now, their allies were willing to die for a cause far greater than themselves. Meanwhile, Earth's efforts to create its fleet had reached a critical stage. The first wave of human warships, crafted with advanced hybrid technology, stood ready in orbit. They bore names steeped in Earth's history: Resolute, Vengeance, Freedom's Light *, and were designed for one purpose: to end the Empire's reign. Unlike the hulking dreadnoughts of the Imperium, these ships were built for speed, precision, and devastating efficiency. Their crews trained tirelessly, knowing they were about to take the fight to the heart of the galaxy's most powerful regime. Back on Earth, humanity's leaders debated their next move. Some argued for caution, suggesting they bide their time and strengthen their defenses further. Others believed the Empire's growing fear and disarray presented a rare opportunity to strike a decisive blow. Ultimately, the decision was made not by politicians or generals, but by the people themselves. Across the globe, a collective resolve emerged. They would not wait for the Empire's return. They would carry the fight to the oppressor's doorstep. The first human strike was precise and devastating. Using advanced stealth technology, a small fleet infiltrated the Imperial core worlds and targeted key military infrastructure. The attacks left the Empire reeling, exposing vulnerabilities they had long denied. Entire garrisons surrendered without a fight, demoralized by the sight of their once invincible fleet crippled by a species they had dismissed as primitive. But humanity knew better than to underestimate the Empire's capacity for retaliation. The Emperor, furious and desperate, unleashed his most terrifying weapon, the Scourge fleet. These ships, piloted by loyalists fanatically devoted to the Imperial cause, were designed for one purpose: to annihilate planets. Their arrival in a system meant complete destruction, leaving nothing but ash and silence in their wake. Earth became their primary target. The Emperor believed that by erasing humanity's homeworld, he could extinguish the rebellion's heart. But humanity was ready. The Scourge fleet's arrival in the Sol system was met not with panic, but with precision. Earth's orbital defenses, a network of railguns and missile systems, engaged the fleet before they could approach. Human warships, working in tandem with allied vessels, executed daring maneuvers to disable the Scourge's command structure. The final battle took place near Mars, where the flagship of the Scourge fleet, Eternal Dominion, faced off against humanity's finest. The Resolute, commanded by Captain Elena Marquez, led the charge. Using experimental weaponry powered by Earth's ingenuity, the Resolute delivered a blow that split the Eternal Dominion in two, scattering its forces and breaking their morale. The victory was not just Earth's, it was the galaxy's. Word spread of the Scourge fleet's defeat, and with it, the Empire's grip on its territories loosened further. Entire systems declared independence, inspired by humanity's unwavering resolve. The Emperor, now a shadow of his former self, retreated to the Imperial throne world, his power crumbling as rebellion swept through the galaxy. Humanity, for its part, remained vigilant. They had learned the hard way that peace was never guaranteed, only earned through strength and unity. The galactic resistance continued to grow, with Earth as its beacon of hope and defiance. For the first time in millennia, the galaxy glimpsed a future free from tyranny, a future where every species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, could stand tall. And as humanity's ships patrolled the stars, their crews carried a simple message, one that had come to define Earth's role in the galaxy. Run.